Hello, welcome back to K&L Firewood. My name's Mike, and that's about typical when I put these two baskets together, open end facing each other, and filling them up off of the axis. When you pull them apart, you have this avalanche of wood that was kind of in between, and there's usually, I don't know, 30, 40 pieces maybe at the very most, usually around 30. You got to pick up. So the vast majority of the wood that comes off this machine goes right in the baskets. There's a handful of pieces that hit the ground, but then get picked up pretty quickly, put in the baskets, and moved away to the drying yard. All stacked up and ready to move. And then I try to stack them in the drying yard here, open faces against each other, just like they were at the end of the axis. So in the drying process, if any of that shifts, they just kind of fall on each other and nothing falls out into the yard, hopefully. Where are we on our 100 face cord challenge by October, which means 200 of these baskets? Well, we're not as close as what I'd like to be. But I do have some wood cuts. It's not like I've been sitting around, but it's been snowy and rainy, and you know the deal. For us hobbyists, I got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37 if you want to call it that, 38, 39, 40, 41, and I've got 6 I think up there at the house. So what's that make? 47. I've got at least 2 full racks of bundle grade, like barkless stuff. So that counts up at the house. That's 49. We were going to count this boiler wood. 50, 51, 52. I might have the equivalent of a rack up by the boiler, so that's 53. These are those smoking chunks. I'll count those. 54, 55. This is a full boiler basket, 56. And working on another bundle grade would be 57. All right, so I'm a quarter of the way there maybe. Plan now is to go up to the house, get the 24D out of the garage, bring it out here, and work on some of these rounds. For those of you who don't know, this is an Eastonmade 24D horizontal log splitter. So it's got a 23 horsepower diesel Kubota 902 motor on it, a 37 gallon per minute pump, a 2.8 cycle time from end to end. And to be honest, I'm still getting used to this thing, and that's blistering fast. If you've ever run any type of log splitter before with this type of power, that's moving. Yeah, so pretty easy peasy. Put that table in there, everybody seems to love. I mean, really, there's nothing to this table. It's literally a pallet that I've screwed some 2x4 treated legs too. I cut the skin off of a IBC tote, screwed it on top to make a nice slick surface, and it just extends this aluminum tray so I have a chance to sort out some of the stuff that comes out the business end of the splitter. I've actually talked to a guy that might make me a metal one that goes into the receiver hitch down there, which I think they make at Eastonmade or maybe aftermarket, but let's see if I can't get one made here locally. I'll grab some baskets to set around here, let it warm up, and then we'll get to splitting. Okay, wait a second. When I'm getting set up, moving things around, I got 1,000 ideas in my head, and a couple of them I think I want to talk to you about, and I want your opinion. So put down in the comments what you think about this idea. As you've seen and everybody's been talking about, it is, and the camera probably isn't doing it much justice, but it is an absolute mud fest. And I'm not doing it any favors by being out here and basically wallering in it. I know it'll dry out and I know it'll be fine, but what do you guys think about bringing in a few loads of chips? I've heard some guys do it in their yards. I've not really heard what their final decision was, or their final opinion was, I should say, but I think I might want to try it, because what it seems like, areas where I've done a bunch of sawing seem to be the driest. Now, this isn't where I've been driving the tractor either, so maybe that's the reason. But I don't know. Which brings up another point. After the Hoosier Firewood hysteria, I'm going to try to reset my yard here so that the Eastonmade Axis and the 24D have somewhat of a permanent home out here. I think it'd be nice to have the boiler basket or baskets in between each machine. So whether I'm running the 24D or the Axis, the boiler basket will be right there. I can just toss into it. I don't have to have two sets of boiler baskets at each machine. And knowing what I know now about the mud situation, if I get this area back here cleaned up, which I certainly will, maybe I'll move both splitters back here. It's a little bit higher. Water seems to drain off of it a little better. And if I get it cleaned out and then bring in some chips, I don't know. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Chips or no chips? And since I mentioned it, I'll bring it to your attention again. So the Hoosier Firewood hysteria is coming up April 2024 on Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th. The 27th is what we're calling game day. That's Saturday. If you've not been to the Hoosier Firewood hysteria, you don't know what it is. It is a collective group of anybody in this woodhound community that wants to be a part of it. We're splitting a bunch of firewood and donating it to the Howard County Vietnam veterans. They end up using that wood at their facility to heat their facility. Plus they have the biggest reunion in September for veterans in the country, and they sell that wood to the campers there at their campground. It's a pretty flat campground, but I think there's like 2,000 sites, so it's a pretty big area. The money that they generate from selling that firewood, they use throughout the year to fund some of the other projects that they're working on. So it's a good way to give back to the veterans. It's a good way for all of us to get together and do some of the things that we're passionate about and get to meet everybody. You know, whether you're a viewer or a creator, it doesn't really matter. Just come and join us. You'll have a chance to run this equipment. I know we're going to have a lot of Eastonmade equipment there. We're going to have a lot of Wolfe Ridge equipment there, and it truly is a great time, and it benefits a great cause. So I would encourage you to come. It's April 26th and 27th, and like I say, The 26th is Friday, which is setup day, and the 27th is kind of our game day. So last year on the day before, the Friday, everybody kind of came in, set some things up, and then at the end of the evening, we still had some daylight left, and people were kind of jonesing to make some sawdust, run some saws, and do some things. So that happened last year. I'm sure it's going to happen again this year. I'm not going to discourage it from happening, but I'm just not going to advertise it as what I'm calling game day, right? So Saturday is really, it's going to be on Saturday. We're going to make some wood and give back to the veterans. So I hope you can join us. Again, it's April 26th and 27th at the Hoosier Firewood Hysteria. It's at the Howard County Vietnam Veterans Organization Campground in Greentown, Indiana. And I will put information down in the description of this video. And it's on our website, knlfirewood.com. Go to the events page. It tells everything you need to know. And you can reach out to me if you have any further questions through our email, knlfirewoodcrew@gmail.com. I guess one last thing I'll say about that day is we do have a raffle at lunchtime. I tried to contact some of the firewood equipment people and see if they'll donate some items we can then raffle off and give that money back to the veterans. I know I've got some perfect sticks this year and some Acc-U-Mark sticks. I've got some stuff from West Coast Saw. I don't know. I've got some stuff up there at the house for sure. If you're a YouTube creator and you have merch, if you have hats and shirts and things like that, and you want to donate to that raffle, I'd be glad to put it in there. And I'm sure somebody would love to have it, especially if we paired it with a perfect stick or, you know, something else. So please bring that. Or if it's unique to your area, like last year, I know some people from Wisconsin brought, I think Jeremiah brought some unique beer from that area, maybe some cheese. That was kind of a cool little basket. So yeah, if it's a unique to your area, or if it's firewood related, please bring it. I don't want it to turn into a flea market, but you know, let's fire this thing up and split some wood. Now, let's be fair. This thing has got a 2.8 cycles time on it. Blistering fast. But box wedges don't like things like this. This is ugly wood. So yeah, is it taking a little longer to get through it? You betcha. But that is some nasty stuff. So we swapped out the box wedge for the 4-way because that maple is just twisty and nasty, and that box wedge does not like that. Holy smokes. These big nasty ones, I think have got the Axis written all over them. The box wedge doesn't want anything to do with them. And the 4-way wedge just makes a little bit too big a piece for me. That's not, I don't like that so much. So, I think we're gonna go on the Axis, but as you can see, I'll show you here in a second, it is starting to rain and it's starting to thunder, which makes me think there's some lightning in the area. So I may be dumb, but I'm not that dumb. So until next time, as long as I don't get electrocuted from here to the house, we'll catch you on the next one. If you like this kind of stuff, firewood, chainsaws, log splitters, tractors, if you like any of that kind of stuff, stick around. I'll put up some links here. You can click on any of those and go watch more firewood stuff to your heart's content. Thanks for coming by, guys. Mike from K&L Firewood. Catch you next time.